The more you try to earn respect, the more people lose it for you. There is a cruel psychological paradox that governs almost every social interaction you have. The more desperately you chase respect, the faster it runs away from you. Think about the last time you tried too hard to impress someone. The way you curated your words. The way you laughed a little too loudly at a joke that wasn't funny. Or the way you hovered, waiting for a nod of approval that never came. In that exact moment, you didn't gain their respect. You signaled that you didn't have your own. You felt that sting, that subtle shift in the room where people realize you're performing for them, and they immediately begin to look down on you. This isn't just bad luck. It's a fundamental law of human nature. This video is designed to break that cycle forever by introducing you to the law of self-possession. This is the secret internal shift that forces people to pay attention to you the moment you stop caring whether they do or not. We are officially moving past the nice guy phase, the people-pleaser era, and the exhausting need to be liked. We are entering a state of absolute personal authority where you can command a room without saying a single word to understand how to get respect without speaking. You first have to understand the anatomy of self-possession. It's a term we hear often, but few actually embody. Self-possession isn't about being the loudest alpha in the room, and it certainly isn't about being a jerk. It is the state of being fully occupied by your own identity. Imagine a person who has their own internal gravity. While everyone else is drifting, looking for a planet to orbit or a group to fit into, the self-possessed individual is their own sun. When you are truly self-possessed, your values, your mission, and your path are so solidified within your mind that external validation starts to feel like background noise. It's like the hum of an air conditioner. You know it's there, but it doesn't dictate how you feel or what you do next. Most people are hollow. They fill that emptiness with the opinions of others. But when you are full of yourself in the healthiest sense of the phrase, there is no room for someone else's disrespect to take root. Consider the figure of Krishna. If you look at the way he is depicted in philosophy and art, he never performed for an audience. He didn't beg for followers or try to prove his worth through frantic displays of power. He operated from a place of total completeness. He didn't need to ask for a seat at the table because in his reality, he was the table. He was the environment. This is the level of internal certainty we are aiming for. When you move through the world with this energy, you aren't being arrogant. Arrogance is loud because it's a cover for insecurity. Self-possession is quiet because it has nothing to prove. You are simply finished seeking. You have arrived at yourself. This realization changes your physical presence. Your posture relaxes, your eyes become steady, and your movements become deliberate. People can sense when someone isn't looking for anything from them, and instinctively, that is the person they choose to respect. The problem is that most of us are currently leaking respect energy through dozens of micro behaviors we've been conditioned to think are polite. We think we're being nice or easygoing, but the world reads it as low status. You are leaking respect every time you over-explain a simple no. When someone asks you for a favor that you can't or don't want to do, and you launch into a 3-minute apology about why you're busy, You are essentially telling them that their time and their needs are more valid than your own boundaries. You are asking for their permission to say no. A self-possessed person knows that no is a complete sentence. If you've been keeping the peace at the expense of your own standards, you aren't a peacemaker. You are a doormat. And the tragic thing about doormats is that people don't thank them for being there. They just step on them to keep their own shoes clean. Every time you change your personality based on who is in the room, becoming more submissive with a boss or more boastful with a peer, you are broadcasting a devastating message that your true self isn't worth knowing. You are telling the world that your identity is a costume you change to suit the weather. This inconsistency is a massive respect leak. People respect what is solid and predictable. They respect the mountain because it doesn't try to be a valley. Just because it's a cloudy day. If your boundaries are flexible based on how much you want someone to like you, then you don't actually have boundaries. You have suggestions. To stop the leaks, you have to stop the performance. You have to be willing to be the same person in the dark as you are in the light, and the same person with a king as you are with a commoner. This is where the true power begins to build. Another major leak is the reactivity trap. Most people are like puppets. If someone pulls the string of an insult, they dance with anger. If someone pulls the string of a compliment, they dance with joy. This means anyone can control your emotional state. When you react instantly and emotionally to everything around you, you are handing over your power. High-status individuals have a buffer zone between a stimulus and their response. They don't rush to fill the silence, and they don't rush to defend themselves against trivial slights. By refusing to be easily rattled, you signal that you are the one in control of your reality. You become the person who decides what is worth your energy and what is beneath your notice. This silence isn't empty. It's heavy with authority. When you stop leaking energy through these small cracks, you begin to accumulate a reservoir of presence that others can feel the moment you walk into a room. To build this level of presence, you have to master the art of the quiet, non-negotiable. This is the core of unshakable authority. You don't need to announce your boundaries to the world or post about your new mindset on social media. In fact, the more you talk about it, the less people believe you. True authority is lived, not explained. Stop explaining your why to people who haven't earned the right to know it. When you make a decision, let the decision stand on its own. Silence is your greatest tool here. Let your consistency be your loudest statement. If you say you're leaving at 5 p.m., leave at 5 p.m. without an apology. If you have a standard for how you expect to be spoken to, and someone crosses it, you don't need to have a shouting match. You simply remove your presence. When someone attempts to disrespect you, a self-possessed person doesn't react with a frantic emotional explosion. Instead, they respond with a calm, detached observation. It's the look a scientist gives a strange bug under a microscope, curious, but not threatened. By maintaining your composure, you are showing them that their behavior is a reflection of their character, not a threat to your worth. You are essentially saying, I see what you're doing, and it has no power here. This creates a psychological vacuum that the other person will desperately try to fill. Usually, they'll end up backpedaling or showing their own insecurity, simply because you refuse to join them in the mud. You are the emotional anchor of the situation. The final takeaway is a hard truth that most people spend their whole lives trying to avoid. Respect is never a gift given to you by others. It is an echo of how you treat yourself. The world is a giant mirror. If you treat your time, your body, and your word with a lack of care, the world will reflect that back to you in the form of dismissal. But respect flows naturally toward those who have already decided they are enough. You don't need to demand it if you embody it. As we wrap up, I want you to look at your life right now with total honesty. What is one standard you've allowed to be broken just to stay light? What is one area where you've been trading your dignity for a bit of temporary comfort? It's time to reset that line in the sand today. You don't need a speech or a confrontation. You just need to decide that you are no longer available for anything less than what you're worth. Comment below with the one boundary you're reclaiming today, and let that be the first step toward a life of unshakable authority. Respect isn't something you demand. It's something you become. So tell me, what's one boundary you're taking back today?